Thank you for joining me here at 420 Colts Lane. I am your host, Nathan Lowry. This is week one review of the 100th season in the NFL. Very exciting to have football back on. Lots of good games to watch. Lots of good stories going on out there. I also refer to this as Overreaction week one, where lots of fans are in the comment section over-exaggerating or under-exaggerating performances. Always a blast and tickle to see. We're going to start with the meat and potatoes here. Obviously, this is a Colts channel. We're going to get in the Colts and Chargers game. I got to say that overall, I was not disappointed with the overall performance of our team at all. We lost 24-30 in overtime. The Chargers, in my opinion, are a very good team. If you watch my prediction video from last week, I predicted that the San Diego Chargers would go to the Super Bowl. Again, people think I'm too high on that. That's fine. I believe that they are a very good team. And for us to be able to, keep it a close game, all this stuff with Andrew Luck and Brissett taking over, I think that it looks like a pretty good offense, at least. It looks like a good game plan. I think that our team as a whole played very well together, and that's what I was excited to see. Mostly is that we were kind of clicking on all cylinders. Obviously, there were some mistakes made in there, especially defensively, and Vinatieri missing the point after and the 2 field goals, which we would have won us the game if he would have hit either of those. That brings me to Vinatieri. How do people feel about this? Please comment below. What are your thoughts? I personally feel like it's very possible that the age has finally caught up with him. I hate to give up on a player like that. He is obviously the greatest kicker, in my opinion, the greatest kicker to ever play, and he is usually very clutch. Against the Chiefs, he definitely missed some. He missed 3 this week, and it did cost us the game. I'm all about it, Adam Vinatieri, but I think that we'll know more next week. If he comes out and misses, I wouldn't be surprised if he does retire or if we try to go a different route. He's put in a long run. I love Vinatieri, but I don't know. Age does happen. That's unfortunate. So we'll see how that all goes. I'll definitely keep tuned into that. As far as our defense had a little bit of problems, giving up, especially a lot of yardage here. Phillip Rivers, he went 25 of 34 for 333 yards, 9.8 average a yard. He had 3 touchdowns and, of course, the 1 interception. One beautiful interception. Eckler had 12 carries for 58 yards, 4.8 with a touchdown, 4.8 average. That's what you want your running back to do. I think he was very effective there in them carries. And then he also had 6 receptions for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's where he really burned us, was here on those passes. They were able to really work their way through our defense a little more than I would have liked to see. There was definitely some moments in there that I saw people going for strips instead of going for tackles. I love the strip. I think that they're very good at it, especially Leonard. This is something that they obviously practice. Multiple players on the team can strip the ball. However, I want them to focus on making the tackle first. If they, you know what I mean? I just don't want to sacrifice a good tackle for a possible strip if they're not able to get it. I hope that doesn't become an issue as the season goes. I'm sure they're watching tape of it right now. Other notable offense there, Allen, he had 8 receptions for 123 yards and a touchdown. Just absolutely smoked us there. But our offense did keep up. Brissett, he went 21 of 27 for 190 yards. It's only a 7-point average, which is pretty low. This is kind of a dink and dunk sort of offense. You've seen this before with people like Tom Brady and the Patriots. When he first came into the league, first took over, that is how they ran it. They ran the ball heavy and just had him pass a little bit. You've also seen Roethlisberger ended up getting to the Super Bowl. When he first entered the league, first couple of years, this was kind of their formula as well with the bus. You've seen other teams, Alex Smith, even though he never really got to a Super Bowl, this was something that a lot of teams wanted to build around him. I think had he stayed healthy, he might have ended up leading some team, whether it's San Francisco or even Washington, if he would have remained healthy. I don't know that he could have led them to the Super Bowl, but regardless, this is the style of play that some teams with young quarterbacks do. I think it was very beneficial for Brissett, and I think he played the way that you wanted him to play. He didn't turn the ball over. He made smart decisions. I mean, he was six incompletions, 21 of 27, and that's a very solid performance. It really should have been 22 of 27 for 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards, but obviously that pass was dropped in the end zone by Ebron. And so Mac, he was the big star here, and so happy to see this. 25 carries, 174 yards, and 7 average. So Brissett averaged 7 passing the ball. This is a completely different situation. 7 average is beautiful. That is a lot of average there. 1 touchdown, and he really played out of his mind. I love watching him. Our offensive line played really well with the run game, and I mean, Brissett only got sacked twice, so really, they played very well. Obviously, our offensive line is good, opening up holes, but I don't want to take anything away from Mac. He earned a lot of those yardages when he got into the secondary. So it was a beautiful thing to watch. We haven't seen anything like that really since Edwin James. I know a lot of people will say that Adai was. For 1 year, he was a decent back, but I don't think I ever saw him really do any of that kind of stuff. So at any rate, juking people out, really making people miss, being a little slippery. I very much liked it. It was fun to watch, and I enjoyed it. And then also, as far as receptions go, T.Y. Hilton ended up getting 8 receptions for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. Played very well. Always a reliable target. One of the best in the game. So. Defensively, we had Walker ended up having 7 tackles for 1 tackle for a loss. Leonard had 7 tackles, 1 pass deflection. Hooker had 5 tackles, 1 pass deflection, and 1 very beautiful interception. That was so fantastic watching him reach back, grab that out of the air. Man, I tell you what, watching that game, at that moment right there, the Chargers could have put that game out. If they would have scored, we would have been, I think, the nail in the coffin. We would have been done. But Hooker came up with an absolutely beautiful interception, and it was fun. It was very, very fun. Put some definite energy back into the team and put some energy back into me, that's for sure. So defensively, I mean, we gave up 4 sacks. We had 4 sacks and 1 interception. Again, we could have been a little bit better there, definitely stopping the yardage. I think we gave up a little too many yards. But we played well against a very well team. And, I'm pretty excited about that. So my first impression of Brissett is that he keeps everything together well, and I'm more excited now than I was last week going into it. But now I am going to get into another section, which I am going to call Pump Your Brakes. Pump Your Brakes is about these overreactions that are going on that I see all over the place. And the first people I'm going to touch on are both the Browns and the Titans. We're going to talk about both. So in the Browns side of it, people are killing these guys. Now, obviously there was so much hype over the Browns, and honestly, I really have been a believer in the Browns and Baker Mayfield. I think that they are creating something down there that can be successful, but it did not happen Sunday. It did not happen Sunday. That was a really brutal game to watch, to be honest with you, especially because I did feel like the Browns had a lot to bring to the table against the Titans, and it just did not happen. And really, when you look at everything, here's some of the stats here. We've got the Browns, we've got Mayfield at 25 of 38, 285 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Now, I watched I think every moment of that. I'm pretty sure that was the one I watched almost all of that game. And I can tell you that up until a certain point, Baker Mayfield, for what he was working with, definitely, he was making better decisions. He didn't throw an interception for quite a while in that game. When it came down to the game, I mean, those stats aren't terrible. Those are not awful stats, especially for the way that the game played out. I think Mayfield definitely, obviously he's got those 3 interceptions, but I'm telling you, that came in when he was trying to press and make something happen at the end of the game after they were already getting smoked. And really the biggest culprit to getting smoked here is going to be their, I had to have wrote it down, their penalties. 18 for 182 yards. They had 18 penalties for 182 yards. They lost the game 43-13. So, I mean, it got out of control. Those 3 interceptions, though, I think that once he started throwing those interceptions, it kind of got out. Those kind of penalties are not going to happen every week. People are killing the Browns now, saying this and that. Listen, first week 1. I don't know, man. Things fell apart. There was some stupid decisions being made on that field by the players. I do believe that this is a team that's capable of wielding that back in and getting that back together. People are just now raking them over the coals, saying that they're not going to win a single game all year. It's absolutely ridiculous. So just pump the brakes on the hate towards the Browns a little bit. This is still a solid roster. If they can, this is a brand new coach, and it's going to take a little bit to get things going. I am shocked that they played as bad as they did. It was just one unfortunate event after another. It was absolutely difficult to watch. I don't believe that continues. I just don't. Pump your brakes on the Browns a little bit. And then the Tennessee Titans. Pump your brakes on the Tennessee Titans too. We have Mariota here. Here's Mariota's stats. 12 of 24. 12 of 24, 248 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's a solid performance, especially the 3 touchdowns. That's good, but again, this is 12 of 24, 248. He's been in the league now, I don't know, 4 years. I'm pretty sure 4 years, and it's okay. They didn't need as much from him. Henry had 19 of 84 for a touchdown, but a lot of it was really turnovers from the Browns and penalties from the Browns that hurt. This performance is good and all. Like I said, he's 4.4 average running at Henry was. So it's not like these are individual stats that were just mind-popping and mind-blowing. It was a lot of mistakes by the Browns that did this, that gave them the possibility to score as many as they did. Now, their defense, the Titans' defense looked great, man. It looked really good. But Mariota has showed in the past where he can have a good game, turn around the next week and have a terrible game and have them lose. So I would like to pump the brakes a little on the Titans. Don't want to take anything away from the Titans. If you go back and watch my video covering the AFC South, I did say this is a talented team. It was hard for me to put them at the bottom just because they're so talented. I just felt like everybody in the league was talented. Look, the Titans right now are looking really good, though. I mean, as far as, you know what I mean? We looked good this week, so I do think it's possible that we can contend here in a battle with the Titans. I do believe that. The Jacksonville Jaguars took a step back, big step back with the injury of Nick Foles. So, no, I predicted that they would be the 4th place team in this division. In my predictions, that's not going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe that. I definitely think Jacksonville probably will be the bottom of the pack. I don't want to buy too much into the Colts play this weekend and put them up there, but I do feel like maybe we are. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to pump the brakes a little bit on the Titans there. I mean, great. It was a great performance. It was. I mean, their defense was good, and it's a talented team. It's a talented roster. Just haven't really bought into Mariota. I was hoping. I thought when I looked at his stats, they were going to be a little bit better than this. It's 248 yards. It's not like he threw for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. Do you know what I mean? This is, Henry didn't even break 100 yards rushing. So let's just, settle down just a second. And then I'm also going to go pump your brakes on the Bears. The Bears are a team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl. I picked the Chargers to beat them. I'm not sure that they looked as good as I thought they were going to look. That is for sure. But you're talking about another game where penalties were just out of control. And I believe if those, those penalties are, I swear I wrote it down. Yes, 10 penalties, 107 yards. Again, this is anytime you have over 100 yards worth of penalties, dude, you're out of the game. They lost 10-3. All right, let's not get crazy, because I see people just tearing the Bears up too. Oh, this is supposed to be a good team. Blah blah blah. Pump your brakes just a tad bit. They didn't play any of their players in the preseason, really any of their starters at all, and I think that's a poor decision in my opinion. I understand why they do it. They want to keep them healthy, but these players got to get on the field and get in the rhythm. And so Trubisky, he went 26 of 45 for 228 yards and an interception. Was it a good performance? No, it wasn't. Allen Robinson, 7 for 102. That is definitely solid. I didn't even write down their running back stats because they were awful. So, yeah, look, that was not a very good performance. I understand. But every time that Trubisky would do something good, it would get called back because of some kind of a penalty. I watched that game very close too, and I mean, you can't march down the field if you're constantly losing yards, if you're constantly using yards and going negative. It's just not going to happen. So just pump your brakes on the Bears just a little bit. Their defense did look good. Their defense did, 5 sacks, 5 pass deflects, 0 interceptions, but they held them to a total of 213 yards. That's the Green Bay Packers here. Aaron Rodgers should be able to throw for more than that. Their defense looked great, and it will look great. That is a great defense. Can Trubisky get it together? Yeah, I do believe so. Do I think he came in there rusty and not prepared? Yeah, I do so. So, yeah, pump your brakes on the Bears just a tad. And now to the last pump your brakes, Baltimore. Look, no doubt. All right, here's Jackson's stats. 17 for 20, 324 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Even Robert Griffin got in on the action and went 6 for 6 for 55 yards and a touchdown. Mark Ingram, 14 rushes, 76 yards, and 77.6 average, and then 107 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Mark Ingram is a good running back. They do have a good running game. Look, Jackson went out and he played very well. Those are really good stats. But they are playing against the Miami Dolphins, and the Dolphins are horrible. A lot of people say they're tanking. I'm not sure if they're tanking. I think they were trying to win that game. I just don't think that they're any good. So can we glean something out of this? I remember back when the Wildcat was running, and when it first came in, it was going nuts. They did a lot of gimmicks here in this game. I see gimmicks, but just the style of offense that they were running, I do believe people get tape on it and they can shut this down. It was a great performance, and I don't want to take anything away from Baltimore. I do think overall they have a very good team. I did say that before. I'm just not fully sold that Jackson can pass the ball. 17 of 20 was pretty good, but again, is that because of the system and the way that it opened up? Not trying to hate on the guy. I'm just saying let's see a little bit more. Let's have a couple more weeks go by, get some tape out there on the offense that they're running, and see if it starts getting stopped. So people are hailing this team, which, I mean, what was the score here? It was... did I not write the score down? Yeah, apparently I didn't. I think it was like 55-0 or 3. I don't know. I don't even remember. But they definitely put a hurting on the Dolphins. They're just not. The Dolphins aren't good. So pump your brakes on Baltimore. And then I almost actually threw Baltimore into this next category, but I didn't, and that is the humble pie, okay? Humble pie, because I was going to throw Lamar Jackson in there and say, this is a section where I acknowledge that I was wrong about something. I'm going to eat a little bit of humble pie here. And Jackson was almost in there with the way that he passed the ball. I'm just, again, it's the Dolphins, the style of offense. I'm just not fully convinced at this point in time. But instead, I'm going to throw Deshaun Watson in here. If you go back and watch my predictions to AFC South, I said I didn't fully buy into him like some of the other people are. He can throw the ball, and his leadership, the way that he went about it, he looked very poised. He looked very confident. He was into, he did a good job. They barely lost this game, 28-30 against the Saints, who I think are a great team. And it was just the way it played out. I mean, it came down to the wire. What a fun game to watch. He was never really rattled. He looked like he was in control and in charge. He's a mature good quarterback. I don't think that there's any doubt about it. So I'm eating a little bit of humble pie here. I did not give Deshaun his credit that he was due, and I am now giving him that credit. My next bit of humble pie, my next slice here is going to be the Green Bay defense. I purposely didn't talk to them. I'll talk about them during the Bears game because I want to talk about them right now. Their defense was, 5 sacks, 9 pass deflections, 1 interceptions, and they only allowed 254 yards. I said in talking about them that I thought that they were going to be the worst in the division. This was going to be a time to take back. I'm definitely eating me some humble pie right now. This team looked much more solid. I'm still not. I mean, it's hard to say with them playing against the Bears team. They 10 yards. Aaron Rodgers' stats, weren't extremely great. I think I went over them when I talked about the Bears. So. 18 of 30 for 203 yards and a touchdown. But it is the Bears, and they got a very good defense. But, yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due. The Packers' defense came in. They shut some stuff down. 9 pass deflects. Very good stuff here. Again, 5 sacks. I think between Green Bay, the Bears, and Minnesota, man, those are some defenses up there, insane. And then the third little bit of humble pie I've got is Kansas City's offense. I did say that I thought that they were going to take a step back. They lost some players, had some changes. Mostly I was talking about defense. Again, they almost got into my pump your brakes because I think defensively there was some definite holes. I mean, I definitely didn't write down those stats. I was going to talk about Minshew's stats, but he kind of chewed up their defense a little bit, and he's a backup quarterback. Nick Foles didn't have a problem moving it down. The issue that people are going to have with Kansas City, he's got so many weapons, and Patrick Mahomes is just unreal. He just is unreal. So I am going to eat a little bit of humble pie, just a little small slice. I'm going to do I'm probably going to cut it in half. You know what I mean? I might not even finish the whole thing, but I'm going to say that I'm going to give a little humble pie to the Kansas City Chiefs. I was not given their due. I said that the Broncos were going to be pretty close to them, not too far, not as far as people would think, and boy was that wrong. Yeah, I was wrong about the Broncos too. Flacco was not. He was not. I don't know. They did not look good, and I don't want to overreact to that though. But I don't know. Anyways, Chiefs. Yeah, they definitely played. Of course, Mahomes is great, and I said he was great. They definitely just. It's watching them be able to juke move out of people, the energy that they have out there. It's very fun offense to watch. Again, I do think that they struggle defensively. There are definitely still holes in there. When Minshew can come in as a rookie who wasn't even expecting to play and put up some yardage on him. He threw a touchdown. I don't think he threw an interception. Something like 230-something yards. I don't remember exactly, but I don't know, man. Like I just feel like you could definitely put some points on them. I just think it's going to be so hard to stop that offense. So, maybe if they played a team with a really good defense, any of those NFC North teams, maybe those teams might be able to shut them down, but it's going to be hard, dude. You're not going to shut them down, but maybe they can slow them down. So, anyways, that's it for week 1. Thank you for joining me here. I also wanted to do a plug for another YouTube channel. I'm going to leave the link below. It's called That's Good Sports. This guy has, I believe, 160,000 subscribers right now. That may be a little bit high, but this guy should have like 1 million subscribers. It's some great content. It is adult content, but man, if you are looking for a good sports channel to watch, I definitely recommend it. I'll leave the link to that below. Thank you again for joining me here at 420 Colts Lane, where I always take the high road. If you like my video here, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and leave comments below. What do you think? Was I right eating that humble pie there? Anyways, thanks for joining me.